Tonight on the Cavalier Connection, we recap the tough loss to Maryland last weekend and discuss this week's critical game versus Coastal Carolina. We also talk to current right tackle Blake Steen and future quarterback Ely Hamrick. We will give our best three bets and share this week's Cavalier Gold Play of the Week. All of this and more tonight on the Cavalier Connection. Welcome into another edition of the Cavalier Connection podcast. I'm your host, Jeff, joined tonight by my partner, Jay, and the first class of 26 commit, Ely Hamrick, out of Asheville, North Carolina, quarterback, future quarterback of the Hoos. How are you tonight, Eli?
I'm doing well.
Hope thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
So you are playing your junior year of high school, and you are at a new school. How's the early season going?
You know, we play a really tough non-conference schedule, so we're not quite off to the start that we want. But tomorrow we start conference play, and we're hoping to get it back on track.
Yep, conference play is the most important thing anyway.
Exactly, yes, sir.
What do you see as your strengths as a quarterback?
You know, I would say I'm more comfortable as a pocket passer, but my main focus this past off season was getting more elusive, more mobile, that kind of things. You know, I'm pretty big. I'm sitting at about 6'5", 225, 223 right now. So you know, I use that to my advantage pretty often. So,
do you play basketball too?
No, sir. I might play this year, but I haven't in the past.
I'm sure the coach would like to have you. So you mentioned you're looking to work on your elusiveness and mobility. Are there any other areas you're looking to improve during your junior and senior seasons?
You know, just all around, just progress as a player. Just get better teammate, better leader, better quarterback. You know, just keep on progressing as I start to move on and think about the next level.
Nice.
Right. So, Eli, did I see that you have the same QB coach as 25 commit for UVA, Bjorn Jurgensen?
Yes, sir. So, whenever I was down in Florida, I trained with Balin Trujillo. He's a great mentor, great coach for me, and he's helped me out a ton throughout this process.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to Bjorn. Great young man. And the fact that you guys have worked together already some, I imagine that'll be helpful in the quarterback room when you get to Charlottesville.
Yes, sir.
So you talked about your height a little bit. Already listed, I think 6'5", around that. How is that an advantage how do you use that as an advantage in your game? And how big do the doctors think you're going to get?
I'm sorry?
And how big do the doctors think you're going to get?
I don't know. Hopefully not too much bigger. But to answer your question, you know, I'm a lot of quarterback power. You know, use my height and weight just to, you know, help. I guess get people out of the way. So, yes, sir.
I would imagine you could run the tush push already for us.
Yes, sir.
Is there any particular NFL quarterbacks that you kind of model your game after?
You know, I'd say my game is probably most similar to like a Josh Allen-esque player. You know, I have a bigger quarterback. You know, can move, but it's not necessarily like his first option. So I would say probably Josh Allen.
He's a good one.
Yeah, I would say he's a real good one to model after.
So I know you were at the Maryland game and then you decided to commit. Can you tell us a little bit about your visit and what led you to committing early?
Sure. I've had the privilege of visiting a ton of schools throughout this process, and just the environment, the coaching staff between Coach Elliott, Coach Kitchings, and Coach Lamb it was just the spot that felt like home. It was a spot I knew that I wanted to be at.
Yeah, well, me and my son, who's also normally on the podcast, we were at the game. It was a really, really good environment. I saw you down there on the field.
Yes, sir.
I figured I better leave you alone. You hadn't committed yet, so.
Yes, sir.
Now that you're on board, are there any guys you're openly recruiting, or you think UVA's got a shot at getting?
I would say I'm pretty fresh to this, pretty fresh off the commitment, so I haven't really developed the recruiting or tried to recruit guys yet. But hopefully, I mean, they've been pretty welcoming to me, so hopefully we can get that started pretty soon.
Nice.
Awesome. So as you watch Virginia play, I'm sure you've watched more than even just the Maryland game. What do you like about the offense that Virginia runs?
I like the split. I think Coach Kitchings does a great job calling. I like how many shots they take per game. They have a really good O-line, good quarterback, good running back, good receivers. So it's just I like the split of run to pass, but I also like how many shots they take per game.
Yeah, and if the progression, plays out the way, I think coaches probably hope, you'd get there for Calandria's senior year.
Exactly.
And I can only imagine what kind of a great guy he would be to learn under, especially with the 2 more years of experience he'd have by that point.
100%. Yes, sir.
So I know this is so far out for you, and you probably haven't given it a whole lot of thought yet, but, UVA is big on academics. Any idea what you want to study yet?
Business, most likely business.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that business degree from UVA. I mean, Jeff and I have had the honor and privilege, we'll say, of getting to talk to a lot of the former players, more from, I'm 44, I think, just 45, guys from playing in the 90s, early 2000s. And a lot of those guys have business degrees, and the things that they're doing now are really incredible. So,
yes, sir.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome to say your age on the air, but there's no reason to say my age. What role has
I had to point out you were older, Jeff.
Yeah. What role has any of your previous youth coaches, parents, and or high school coaches played in your academic success and your football development?
Sure. My dad's been pretty involved throughout my life. He played at NC State, so he's been involved in coaching me coaching me pretty much my entire life. So he's the receivers coach at AC Reynolds, which is the high school that I'm at right now. And so, he's been a big influence, just experiencing and going through that life. Also my high school head coach, Coach Laws, Shane Laws, he's been a huge help and factor in this decision. So I've always been taught that academics come first and then football second.
Was Doran trying to recruit you to NC State, knowing you were kind of a legacy?
Sure. It was I never really developed a relationship with NC State like a lot of people would have expected.
Okay.
So I know you're busy with football and school, and I don't know what free time you may have, but what do you like to do in your free time?
So I lived in Big Sky, Montana for a while. So one of my hobbies is skiing. That's probably one of my favorite things to do. But just normal things now that I'm in North Carolina, hang out with friends, go out, get food, play video games, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's funny you talk about video games, because that's my next question. NCAA Football 25 is out. Is that something, I'm assuming it's something that you play? And what are your thoughts on being in the game, in future seasons?
I'm really excited for that. Hopefully I get a decent rating, but you know, I can't. I won't complain until I've played at least. You know, but yeah, I'm really excited to be in the game.
Yeah, that we talked to some of the guys on the team now, and I'm sure you saw the football facility while
Yes,
you
sir.
visited.
Yes, sir.
And they tell us that, you know, they have two screens, and, you know, guys are always playing. That's a lot of bragging rights going on with the football game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jay, real quick, did you see Coach Elliott played the game too?
I did not.
So Coach Elliott played his sons, and I don't know what the outcome was, and he played somebody on the team. I don't remember who I read that from that he played. He said he got destroyed, so he's not playing any more players. So I don't think you're going to get a shot at Coach Elliott.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Good to know.
So Eli, we're getting close to getting you out of here. Is there any message you want to send to all the Wahoo faithful that are watching this?
Yeah, I'm excited to be a part of the brotherhood and be a part of this team. You know, it's going to the last game. It was a great atmosphere. Fans seem really dedicated, so I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Nice.
Awesome.
So to wrap things up, we want to do a little rapid fire questions with you, just to kind of get to know you. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food? I gotta go with chicken. You know,
Chicken.
all kinds of chicken,
Oh, yeah.
chicken wings, chicken tenders.
You can't go wrong with chicken.
Exactly.
What's your favorite Gatorade color?
Great.
Great.
Purple.
A favorite NFL team?
Panthers. I grew
Oh
up in
man,
Charlotte,
I had a
so,
feeling. Ooh,
Yeah,
it's a tough time right now.
It's rough right now, but hopefully they're gonna get it back on track soon.
That's right.
I'm just glad you didn't say you were studying Bryce Young's tape from the NFL. College would be good, but
Yes, sir. I don't think it's all on him.
oh, for sure.
Not at all.
It never is. It never is.
Who do you call the football GOAT?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite musician?
Favorite musician?
Uh-huh.
Hey, you know, it's like it depends on like what we're feeling, but I like Zach Bryan a lot, and I like Rod Wave a lot.
Somebody I actually know.
Yes, sir.
What's your most played song right now?
Ooh, that's tough. You know, Rod Wave just dropped a new song, Passport Junkie. So like the last few days, that's what I've been listening to.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's like one of his best songs, but I mean it's all right. It's all right.
What's your favorite sport other than football?
Honestly, probably skiing or
Okay.
basketball. Skiing, basketball, probably tied for
Okay.
second.
You have a favorite basketball team?
Probably Hornets.
The Hornets. Okay. Stay right there with the Carolina teams.
Exactly.
Are you an early riser or a late nighter?
I would say early riser.
Right.
When I was in Florida, I was about an hour away from my school, so I was waking up at 4:45, 5 a.m. every day. So
I was gonna say Bjorn told us his schedule, and my gosh, knowing you guys train with the same people or did anyway. Good gosh, he was bright and early.
yes, sir.
Do you have a favorite place to eat?
You know, it's probably Chick-fil-A up in North Carolina, but down south is Chicken Salad Chick. Chicken Salad Chick.
Okay. I've never had that before. They
It's
just
great.
opened one close to where I work at. I've heard it's good.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's really good.
If you could meet one person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say probably like George Washington.
Okay.
He's just like, you know, he's probably like the American goat. So George Washington.
Yeah,
That's right.
go to America. I like it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Last one. Who do you look up to the most?
My dad.
Your
Definitely
dad.
my dad.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So, Eli, we want to thank you for coming on the Cavalier Connection podcast tonight. We wish you luck in your junior and senior seasons, and we're looking forward to talking with you again and seeing you in that UVA uniform.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
Have a great evening.
Appreciate your
Have a
time.
great evening, Eli.
Yes, sir.
We would like to thank Eli for his time tonight. Sounds like a intelligent, young, unbelievable 16-year-old kid who, I mean, great things in front of him academically and athletically, and a big boy, 6'5". He said he hopes he's not growing anymore. He's a big guy. I envision a Cam Newton, like power running.
Yeah,
QB.
he gets to about 6'8". Coach Bennett might come calling.
Yeah, I know. And crazy enough, he doesn't play basketball, but they say he might play this year.
Yeah.
But I'd like to thank him for his time. Before we continue, we would like to tell you about our partner, Genesis Gold Group. Now, Jay and I know the both of us are getting to the age of getting to a safe retirement is definitely on our mind. What's easier than a gold or silver IRA? This is what you can get with the Genesis Gold Group. In today's uncertain world, securing your financial future is more important than ever. That's why I've partnered with Genesis Gold Group to introduce you to a smarter way to protect your savings with a gold IRA. You're not just saving, you're investing in the stability and enduring value of gold. Let's get prepared, not just for the next harvest, but for our financial future. Go to cavaliergold.com and secure your future with a gold IRA. That's cavaliergold.com. Last weekend, the Who's lost to Maryland 27-13. This is a game the Who's led at the half 13-7, but could not get anything going in the second half. Calandria finished the game 21 of 37 for 247 yards and unfortunately 2 interceptions. Pace and Brown both ran for 40-plus yards, and Calandria had that dramatic run to give the Who's the lead going into the locker room. Leading receivers, Terrell Harris had 4 catches for 72 yards. Tyler Neville, 3 for 57. Malachi Fields was kind of shut down, only 4 catches for 36 yards. Also getting into the action, Cam Courtney had 2 catches for 36, including a deep one, which was I don't recall what the distance on that throw was, but it was probably 25-plus yards. And we definitely saw them try to get Chris Tyree involved as he had 5 catches for 33 yards. We had 1 sack on defense from Jameer Carter. Jay, what were your thoughts from the game last Saturday?
Yeah, I went live right after and kind of gave some immediate thoughts. And, the main things that stood out then are still kind of on my mind about that game right now. We lost that game in the first half by not scoring touchdowns when we were in the red zone. For the second game in a row, we kicked a field goal from the 2-yard line. And I said against Wake Forest, you're not going to win games doing that. We won that one. But you can't consistently win when you kick field goals from the 2. Especially when the game's 0-0. If you're down 9-7 in the fourth and, you're at the 2 and, maybe you do kick the field goal, take the lead, but 0-0 game, I'm at the 2-yard line. I've got to get 7 there. So just all game long, red zone and third down. Our third down offense, I think we're only converting 22% on the season, which is bad. So we've got to improve there. Some of that is getting in third and manageables, though. A lot of those third downs were 3rd and 10 plus. So when you have a negative play, when you have a penalty, those things kill drives. And in the second half, we had the ball. Credit Ball Hawk for this 8 minutes and 21 seconds. You're not going to win a football game in which you hold the ball for 8 minutes, 21 seconds and score 0 points. It's not like you were hitting 80-yard touchdown, 70-yard touchdown, 62-yard touchdown, and then you're killing people. No, this was 3 plays, get to the line as fast as we can, and then punt for most of the second half. So disappointing. It's not unfamiliar to Virginia fans, right? We're used to kind of being up for a big game and getting disappointed. So this week is going to tell you a lot about this team and how they respond. Do you get another crappy performance? Or we've both said this team's different. Now you got to go prove it on Saturday. So what did you see? You were there, so
yeah. The turnovers were tough. The second half, we just couldn't move the ball. Like you said, the 3rd and longs. I thought the defense really they kept us in that game. But when you're only on the field for 8 minutes and change in the second half, the defense finally wore out. And that's just what happened, I think. And then, kicking field goals, not getting those touchdowns. And speaking of turnovers and in the red zone and not getting points, yesterday we had the privilege of speaking to starting right tackle Blake Steen to learn a little more about him. And he was a part of one of those turnovers, which was one of the flukiest turnovers I've ever seen, and something I've never seen before. And it's just unbelievable that it happened. And he definitely he talked about that. And we're gonna play that interview for you guys right now.
Mountain of a man, 6'5", 328 pounds, junior Blake Steen. How you doing tonight, Blake?
Great. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Thank you
No
for
problem.
coming on.
Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. So you really started coming on late last season and have continued your strong play in the early part of this season. What do you think has contributed to your rapid improvement?
I think like the training staff, like the staff that we have has really helped me improve, especially the training staff. Being in with Coach Mo, Coach Rush, Hick, and all the guys, and has helped me really improve my game, my speed, like my quickness, or my athleticism, as well as my strength. So I feel a lot stronger out there this year as well. So yeah.
It probably doesn't hurt that you have one of the greatest weight rooms in the country too, huh? That thing's huge.
Big, huge weight room. Crazy.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know how much NFL football you watch, but if you do, what offensive lineman in the NFL would you say you study and mold your game after?
I mean, that's pretty easy. Tyler Steen and my older brother.
There you go.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Great.
So Blake, you guys have had kind of an unusual amount of injuries along the offensive line this year. Can you talk about the depth you guys have as a unit and how you're able to kind of sustain that strong level of play?
It's it's a group of guys in that room that are always, willing to compete in that room. Always listening, always very coachable in that room. So we got multiple guys that can go out there and play. So someone's banged up, gets hurt, a little knick-knack injury, has to be out for a minute. We got a lot of guys in that room that can step up, and a lot of young guys too that are really starting to step up too. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more depth this year, it seems, than last year, which is, a great problem to have. You got guys that want to play, and it's great when you have injuries to have that kind of depth. So how much fun is it to be a part of an offense with so many weapons? I mean, with you guys having Malachi and Trell and Tyree and Pace. And, I mean, I could name, everybody on the offense. I think, our guy Tyler Neville. How much fun is it?
Forgot Xavier Brown.
Yes.
Xavier Brown.
He was dynamic on Saturday night.
Man, he was. But yeah, it's really fun being in a room, with those guys, especially when you have a quarterback like AC, who can just go out there, throw for 300, run 400. It's ridiculous out there. Like just watching him play. All of a sudden you're blocking. You look down the field and AC's 30 yards out of the field, juking out defenders and stuff. So,
that's incredible.
Like something that was super fun, especially playing with someone like Malik Washington. When he would just run all the way down the field, it'd be hard because we run a lot of tempo, so it'll be hard. They'll go all the way down the field. We're like on our 20, go all the way down the field, get stopped at like in the red zone, and we'll just have to run all the way down there. So
get your cardio in.
It's a good problem.
It's fun. It's fast too. It's a fast offense. But it's really fun, seeing the guys we have, especially, our receivers like Mal, Trell, and Chris. And, we got a lot of depth in the receiver room. I don't know if y'all see it.
Oh, yeah.
But we got so many guys in that receiver room. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They even got Cam Courtney really involved Saturday night too. I saw, which is great to see.
Yeah. that kid's a dog. I'm not even gonna lie. That kid is a dog. He's gonna be a dog one day.
Oh, for sure.
I saw him moving like yesterday. I was like, wow. He moves like a running back.
He's a true freshman.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I mean. The depth, we got a lot of depth in that room. A lot of young guys in there stepping up. Him, Tyler Coleman. We also got Andre Green. Jared Wilson. Guys like that.
Yep. Like I said, you could just literally go down the list. The offense is so explosive.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw something Saturday night I've never seen before. The most fluke play where you pancake the defensive end, and your foot as you're pancaking the guy strips the ball from Calandria. As you're taking that guy down. Have you ever had or seen? I've never even seen that before in another game. Have you ever seen that or had that happen before?
It's never happened to me before. Like, I didn't realize that happened until after the game, maybe the next day.
Oh, wow.
Someone had it to me. I was like, I looked back and I was like, no way.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you don't see yourself getting. I mean, everybody wants that big pancake. It was awesome, and then the foot knocked it out. I was like, oh my, you can't have worse.
That'll be one of the most unlucky plays in the history of football.
Oh gosh, it was definitely the most unlucky play I've ever had. I thought it was a good play.
Oh yeah, I think he scores there because AC's got that dead leg. He give that dead leg, and he had only had one defender to juke out, and
AC probably would have had that guy farther all over on the sideline.
Yep. So going back to Saturday, what changed from the success in the first half to the struggle in the second half?
I mean, I don't really know. It was just a tough loss. That was a good team. Hats off to them. So, they had a good front, a really good defense. They had some talent on that team. So,
yeah, they certainly did. Yeah. When you guys watched the tape, what was your biggest takeaway from the game?
Just finishing. Finishing. Coming out in the second half stronger and, finishing. I mean, it was kind of like what they did to us last year. We had them on the ropes.
Right.
Yeah, very, very similar for you. Yeah. So, but what I will say, moving a little more positive here, you guys are 2-1 through 3 games, and it feels like there's a lot of energy going into Coastal Carolina Saturday. It will be a big game, probably a pretty good crowd at Coastal. I looked at tickets. They're selling like $92 tickets to get into Coastal Carolina for that game. Should be a very fun one to go down to Myrtle Beach. What's the vibe in the locker room right now going into that game?
We're just trying to respond right now, so I mean, it's a good vibe. Everybody's just trying to tone out the mistakes. There's always ways you can be better, even in wins. There's always ways you can play better. So that's how the vibe is. It's just like any week.
Yep, never too high, never too low. That's a great way to be. So your first 3 games have been at night, and this is kind of like an early afternoon, 2:00 kickoff. Do you have a preference on kickoff times, and how much changes from like an 8 p.m. start to a 2 p.m. kickoff? Like, what's that day kind of like for you guys and the differences?
When it's an 8 p.m. kickoff, I like those, but I'm like kind of dreary all day. I'm like, damn. I'm kind of jealous watching everybody else play. I'm ready to get out there and play too. But 2 p.m. I don't think I really played a game at 2 p.m. before, and it's a little earlier those days. Usually when we have night games, I can also give me a little midday nap, which also helps. So, yeah.
8 p.m.'s tough for the fans too, because we just can't wait to watch y'all play. I'm excited all day. I can't wait for 8 o'clock.
And we got home at 2:30 in the morning after Saturday night. It was late.
Yeah. But then once 8 o'clock hits, then I'm like, man, I'm glad this game wasn't until 8. Our time has come. As y'all have watched tape for Coastal, what do they like to do on defense, and what are their strengths as a unit?
I mean, it's a really sound defense. Our team, they're really disciplined, and they got some talent on that team too. It's college football, so I mean, they're 3-0 for a reason. So, and we can see that on tape. So, I mean, we can't treat them lightly at all. We got to treat them like any other team, if it was Coastal Carolina or University of Georgia. So,
right. Yep.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's definitely the right mentality to have.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we certainly wish you guys all the best of luck on Saturday. To wrap up our interview, we'd like to do some rapid fire questions to get to know you beyond the football field. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, let's start with, what is your favorite food?
I'm a big guy. I have multiple favorite foods. I can't choose one. I mean, I could choose like a type of food. My favorite food is my mom's cooking. That's a good
There you
answer.
go.
That's a great answer.
That's a phenomenal answer. That's as good as it gets. What about, you have a favorite Gatorade color?
Favorite Gatorade color? Don't get mad at me, but people get on my nerves when they say that Gatorade is yellow. The lime one is yellow, but I call it green.
Oh,
Green.
boy. That's my household right
That's
there.
my favorite. So we always debate that, because I always called it green, and because my dad calls it yellow so much, I've started to call it yellow. You know, it's
I
lemon
should
lime.
pull it out my fridge. I could pull out. Let me pull it out my fridge right now.
This is our household debate right here.
This right here is the color green. It's green. Where do y'all see yellow?
Listen.
I'm not gonna lie, I say yellow.
Oh, man.
Come
Hey,
on,
but
this is green.
Blake, we're so appreciative to have you here. I'm gonna call it green tonight. It's green.
Yep, that's right. We're gonna call it green. I'll call it green from now on, just for
It's
you.
green from now on.
Hey,
You settled our debate.
in all seriousness, though, I think lemon lime is the best flavor myself. So good.
It is.
Absolutely. What would you say is your favorite musician?
My favorite musician, Rob Ray.
Rod Wave. There you go. What would you say is your most played song right now?
Most played song by Rod Wave or anybody?
Anybody.
It's probably still Rod Wave, and I'll say 2019.
Nice. That's a good one. Absolutely.
Jeff and I got to go look these up. We're the old men.
Look, anytime we interview recruits and stuff, a lot of people say him, a lot of people say other people. I'm the only one who knows what they're talking about. Typically. But what would you say is your favorite sport other than football?
Basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Basketball. Do you have a favorite?
A lot of people don't know. I was a number one overall pick in my little basketball league when I was younger.
There you go.
All right, so I got a question for you. Who wins a one-on-one game between you and Kempton Shine? Because we hear he's like MJ from him.
I think I've seen him play basketball before.
Yeah.
It's definitely. I definitely have seen him play basketball before.
Okay.
But like, maybe even if he is like pretty shifty on offense, I feel like if I get the ball, he's just too little. I would back him down all day.
Just back him down.
Yeah,
Back
you
him
sack
down.
him. You
If I get the ball, he's not getting it back. I'm not getting the ball back.
I love it. Do you have a favorite NBA team?
Obviously the Miami Heat. Can't go wrong with that.
Miami Heat. Okay, there you go. What would you say is your favorite team of football in the NFL? I can't talk.
I mean,
Favorite NFL team.
I can't really choose. I mean, it has to be the Eagles. It has to be.
I was going to say the team that drafts you in a couple years. How about that?
Yeah, all that.
That's right.
That works. Would you say you're more of an early riser or late nighter?
Late nighter.
Late nighter.
I mean, early rising is nothing to me, but late nighter, I like staying up late.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I'll probably say like The Water Boy.
Boy.
I know that one. That's a classic.
Yeah.
I do know that one. Yeah.
I watched that movie multiple times.
There you go. So we asked the favorite food question earlier. What would you say is your favorite restaurant to eat?
In general or like up here?
Anywhere.
It could be anywhere.
Shoot.
Y'all have a good one in Charlottesville that Jack and I like to go to. I don't know if you've been. Have you been to the Wood Grill?
No, I haven't. But there's a place in Charlottesville that I've been to recently. It's a soul food place called Royalty Eats.
What's it called?
Royalty Eats.
Okay.
We got to try that when we go up to the next
We're
game.
trying to find more spots, so
Yeah.
we'll have to try that one out. Yeah, we go to the Wood Grill.
Wood Grill, I'll try that.
It's a buffet. It's a buffet.
The buffet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll be plenty stopped
No, I've
for
seen
the
that place.
game.
I've seen that place before.
Yeah,
I know
it's
it's good.
nice. If you could meet one person, dead or alive, anybody, who would it be and why?
Man, y'all putting me on the spot. These are like some good questions. I haven't thought about these before. Dead or alive? Larry Allen.
Oh yeah,
Larry Allen.
He's a good one.
he's a great
Yeah.
one to learn from. Yeah.
He is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
I
he's
don't
a guy
like
that's
his
played multiple positions, you know, in the NFL. So, you know, he's a great guy who's, you know, brand you could pick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely. And the final one, who would you say you look up to the most?
My older brother. You know.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yep.
You got a younger brother too, don't you? That's being pretty heavily recruited.
Yeah, he is. He has some offers right now. On Virginia's board, you know, Virginia's looking at him a little bit. So
Oh, that'd be cool.
Get it, swing
hopefully
him our
hopefully
way.
we can get him to Charlottesville.
That's right. Swing him this way. We need to keep that train coming. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really good. Then you can show him what's up in the great weight room. How about that? So Blake, it's been a real pleasure talking to you. Good luck on Saturday, and best wishes for good health moving forward the rest of the year. Go beat Coastal.
Got you. Appreciate
Hey,
y'all
thank
for
you.
having me.
All right.
Thank
Thank you,
so much.
Blake.
We enjoyed. So that was our interview last night with Blake Steen. We want to thank him again for joining us. Know there's great things in the future for that young man. Real quick before we move on, I think our listening audience has one question. I think they think that we have Al Bundy with us here tonight. As I looked at that interview from last night, the people are wondering, does Jay Ballard have in his closet a gray shirt with the orange hat on about 12 hangers, like Al with the blue shirt and the and the khaki pants?
So what you're getting is this is undershirt, Jay. You know, this isn't an actual, you know, t-shirt. So, you know, when you wear when you have your work shirt or whatever, you get home, you take that off, and I just didn't switch into any UVA gear tonight. If I took the hat off, you see how crazy the hair is right now. So the hat's got to be on.
You know, I had to ask it. America out there wants to know. Those are the kind of questions they want to know. They don't care. They don't care about this football or any of this. They want to know about the material, the clothing that we're wearing.
It's like the episode of Seinfeld. The girl with the dresses.
Oh yeah. I need to get into Jay's house so if I can see what if he has any other clothes other than the undershirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blake was a pleasure to talk to last night, and so I know there's great things in his future. So now we move on.
He settled that green and yellow debate for you.
He did. We have that debate. We've had that debate multiple times in our household about what color that is. I've always said yellow, but I told him we go green moving forward. So
I don't even understand how you can say it's green.
I haven't been able to figure that out either. Shannon and Jack have always said green. I didn't get it, but you know, hey, we appreciate him coming on, so we'll go green as well. So moving on, this week we have Coastal Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So last night, Jay and I actually were able to go on to the Strut podcast, one of the Coastal Carolina's representative of the College Huddle, and we talked a little UVA. And so they actually Chili from the Strut podcast did a video for us so that you guys can know what to expect out of Coastal Carolina. We're going to play that one.
Cavalier Connection has asked me to do this. My name is Chili. I'm one of the 3 hosts on the Strut podcast, the podcast that covers all things Coastal Carolina sports. We appreciate the opportunity to be on here and talk a little bit about Coastal in these few minutes they've asked me to come on and give a short preview. And I hope I do well because I need my parents' approval. So here we go. We're going to talk a little bit about Coastal. We're going to be welcoming you guys that are traveling. First off, safe travels to Conway. Brooks Stadium has been sold out now for quite a while, getting ready for UVA to visit us, and we could not be more excited to welcome the Wahoos into Conway. Welcome to the Teal Turf. We hope you enjoy it. So looking at Coastal, first off, our ground game is something that we hang our hats on. We've had a couple of injuries to 2 starters, but we've had a guy fill in, Christian Washington, been a very good guy to carry the load. He has 208 yards so far in 3 games he's played, but he's been sharing a lot of that load with our quarterback, Ethan Vasco. By the way, on the show, we call him Ethan Vasco Tabasco just because it rhymes and it's kind of cute. So Ethan Vasco is our quarterback also. Having a pretty good year. We've been running the ball a lot, as I said a while ago, on offense. But Vasco also has, on the season, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, and he's thrown for 512 yards. Again, we've been hanging our hats mostly on the ground game this year. Now, receiving, Trey Taylor, number 2 for us. He's played in all 3 games. He's got 6 catches. He's got a touchdown. He's got 132 yards, but he's also sharing some of that load with Jamison Tucker, who wears number 8. So those are our guys on offense we want you to maybe take note of. Don't stop them. Just take note of them. In terms of defense, Shane Bruce, our linebacker, he's our captain. He wears number 1. He leads in total tackles and solo tackles. Second behind him is Emmanuel Johnson, a defensive end, wears number 91. Will Whitson, also a standout. Some other guys who find themselves around the ball. Jawan Powell is spelled Juan, but it's actually pronounced Jawan Powell. Braylon Ryan, Wyatt Gideon, A.J. Williams, and one guy who we are really happy he stayed with us is Matthew McDoom. We've got some good corners and safeties, some guys who like to make plays when it comes to converging on the football. On the season, we are 3-0. We have defeated, in our first game, Jacksonville State at their place. We kicked off our home schedule against William and Mary, and we beat Temple last week. Now, up until the Temple game, we had 3 games in a row where we did not give up a single point in the first quarter. And since Coach Beck has been here, this is his 2nd year. Since Coach Beck has been here, we have not given up a score in the first quarter 8 times in his tenure, which is approaching a season and a half at this point. So we have been able to run the ball. As I said just a second ago, our defense is ever improving under our coordinator, Coach Craig Niver. He's from Texas. And from what I hear, Coach Beck, our head coach, and your head coach, Coach Elliott, have had some shared times as being assistant coaches at some of the more major programs across the country. So these 2 guys have a healthy respect for each other. We also have a healthy respect for Cavalier Nation. We were right there with y'all last year. We were supposed to play that game a couple of years ago. Tragedy struck, and we are still thinking about your team, your community, all that good stuff. We are still behind you 100%. We wish you nothing but health the rest of the season, and we hope you have a safe drive down to Conway for our game this coming Saturday. And again, you can catch me, TD, former player, and Info Joe, former radio play-by-play guy, on the Strut. We drop our Strut show every Wednesday evening, as well as a Sunday Strut recap show every Sunday, So catch us. You can hear our show, which is now available on any major platform you listen to. We call it the Strut Podcast because of the Strut for short. And we look forward to a great, safe ball game this coming Saturday. Hopefully the Shots come out of Brooks Stadium with a win. All the best from Coastal. Wahoo!
And that's Coastal Carolina's The Strut Podcast, and Chili coming in with a little analysis of the Coastal Carolina football team. We appreciate him coming and doing that. Super nice guys, super nice. They said they're welcoming all of us who's down to Conway, South Carolina. Just nice guys. We were on the show last night, and we wish them the best all year except for this Saturday.
Yeah.
And,
something that I mentioned on their show when we were with them was that this is the 2nd game in a row that Virginia's had to face a quarterback that comes from the Commonwealth. Maryland's quarterback, Billy Smith, was a Virginia kid. And Ethan Vasco's down from your neck of the woods, Jeff, played at Oscar Smith. Of course, he's come to Coastal by way of Kansas, and he might have had even another stop in there somewhere. But I know originally he went to Kansas for a year. So a lot of respect for them. To me, they're like, the model we'll call it a mid-major, use a basketball term. they're like the model program for that level. I think JMU is approaching, Liberty is approaching, but Coastal was kind of the first one, in my opinion, to kind of to get to the level of respect that they have. So it's not going to be easy. Jack talked about tickets were going for like $90. They hold 21,000, and what they told us last night was the atmosphere there is they're having a party and a football game breaks out. So I expect to be a fun atmosphere, and it's just going to be a good test. I mean, I think we're more talented. I don't know if there's a whole lot of question about that. We have more talent. Really, to me, this game comes down to if we give Calandria time and we can run the ball a little bit, then we'll be fine. I think our defense will find some success. I don't think they'll go up and down the field on us. But if things go south and that crowd starts rocking, and it could get out of hand quickly if you're not on your A game. So hopefully the Hoos will come out and play strong right out of the gate.
Yep. I'm expecting what everybody says sold out, and it's a party. So should be a great game, great football event, and a great test for the Hoos. So
I think they said they hold 21,000. So, you and I are very familiar with the SB Ballard Stadium at Old Dominion. That's about what they hold, and we know how loud that can get.
Right.
So 21,000, you think, Virginia can hold over 60. Normally we have over 40, I'd say. Those 21 can be just as loud, if not louder.
Subject for another episode. I do want to talk about the Scott Stadium and our size. So we need to talk about that at another episode. But yeah, it may not be as big as Scott, but 21,000 packed in there. It's like when we at ODU. When we were at ODU and the ladies played at the field house, and they held 5,000. And when the men would have a home game at the field house, it was a different environment. It was jumping.
Yeah.
It was a real home court advantage there.
Yeah.
So moving on.
I had to sneak into the game. I had to stay at my PE class upstairs for about 3 hours extra just to get in because I didn't have a ticket.
See the game, yeah, no doubt. But moving on, although we lost to Maryland last week, everything wasn't bad. And so that's taking us into our CavalierGold.com play of the week, courtesy of the ACC Digital Network.
For Calandria. Maryland blitzes. Calandria scrambling in the pocket. He'll avoid it at the 5, trying to get to the end zone and dives for the Cavalier touchdown. They want to throw it to the right side of the field. They got a 2-man route.
And that was our CavalierGold.com play of the week. Calandria on that play, it was a dangerous play, and that's what we live with Calandria. He lives on the edge. We have a timeout left, and that play in the post game, Coach Elliott said he got a talking to for that. You got to know your time and situation, but it's one of those plays like the kid that shoots the ball from half court in the middle of the game or something, and you're like, no, and then the ball goes in. Yes, as Calandria crossed the goal line there. So it was an exciting play, and definitely our CavalierGold.com play of the week. So to wrap up the episode, we have this week's Cavalier Connection best 3 bets. Before we get started, I do want to share our standings. And if you're listening, I don't think you want to follow us for a whole heck of a lot because as of late it has not been too hot. I'm actually in the lead at 2-3-1. Jack and Jay, I went ahead and put Jay last just because Jack's never been ahead of anybody. So Jack's 2-4 and Jay's 2-4. I'll give Jack a tiebreaker just because he's never been ahead of anyone. And if you don't listen to AM 1310 Fox Sports and Hampton Roads, Jack's picks are just as poor there too. I think his record coming into today is his 6-pack of picks is, I don't know, 3-9 or something. It's rough. So we've always said bet against Jack and you win a lot of money. So moving into the night's picks, Jay, you got what you got?
So we didn't share our picks for before, so hopefully we're not all duplicating.
No, Jack and I are not.
Okay, so I don't know what you guys' picks are. My first pick is going to be. I got to go back to this. Well, I should have stayed with it. If you remember last week, I was debating between Washington and Indy, and I went Indy. I should have gone Washington. I'd have been 2-1. But anyway, I'm going to go against the Giants again. Cleveland -6.5.
All right.
That game's in Cleveland. I can't see the Giants playing well there.
Okay. Yeah, that's one I had thought about, but none of us have that either.
Okay.
Do you want me to give one, or are you getting all three?
Are we giving all three?
Go ahead and give all three. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. My second pick. Again, I'm just looking at teams that I think are bad, and they're playing on the road. So I'm going to take Tampa to cover 6.5 against Denver. They just can't score.
Right.
And
Tampa can.
And Tampa can. So one touchdown, even if Denver played well, I think they would cover that 6.5. Okay. And then for the last game, this is almost a toss-up game. Baltimore's desperate. They don't want to be 0-3, so I'm going to take the Ravens -1 at Dallas. All they got to do is win by 2.
Yeah. So if they win the game, you're at worst getting a push.
Yep.
Yeah, I looked at that one too. I just can't get a feel. I can't get a feel for Dallas, and I can't get a feel for the Ravens.
After
but the
watching
Ravens
them last week,
the Ravens are desperate. I'll go ahead. I'll start. I'm gonna give you Jack's picks, and then I'll give mine. So Jack has the Colts -1.5 versus the Bears. He's got the Chargers and Steelers under 36. And then he's got the Dolphins +4.5. So that Chargers-Steelers game, 36 is so low, but neither one of those teams they're going to run the football. Both of those teams are going to pound it. That could be 17-13. Yeah. But with Jack picking it, I think it's going to be 20-17, 37 points. I think he's stealing that from the gambling expert that comes on the radio show in the morning. Right. I definitely heard that one getting discussed. So for me, I took the Texans -2 at Minnesota. I just think the Texans are really good, and I think Minnesota is overplaying.
Comes off Cinderella.
The shoe's coming off a little bit. I mean, you can lose to Houston, and your season. Houston's a good team. Sure. And then I got in the Bears-Colts game. I got under 43.5 points. I just don't respect that Bears offense or the Colts. And Richardson at quarterback. And so, I don't see that game getting – I don't even see that game getting in the 20s. But and then also I took under 43.5 for the 49ers and Rams. Both those teams are suffering with the injuries. The Rams with both their stud receivers going down, and then the 49ers having, of course – they can run with, I think maybe me or you could get back there and we can get 100 yards with a Shanahan system, but or maybe 50. But is what's his face playing this week? Well, I can't say the receiver. Debo, yes. No, Debo's out, isn't he? Yeah.
Debo's out. And Kittle is not practicing, so he may not play.
Yeah, the injury bug is really hit both of these teams pretty hard, and so 43.5. I could see that one definitely. I could see under in that one as well. So those are my 3 picks. Jay, you got a final score for the Virginia Coastal Carolina game?
Yeah. So I posted. The article tonight just went up a couple hours ago. The 1, 2, 3, ding, 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 Coastal Carolina edition. That's on the College Huddle. If you go check out that article, this is a tough one. I went back and forth on picking Coastal or picking Virginia. I'm going to stick with the positive vibes though, and take Virginia 30-27.
So we got close scores. I'll go ahead and give Jack had Virginia 31-21, and then I have Virginia 34-27. So I think it's gonna be a close. Yeah, yeah. I think it's gonna be a close game. So we'll see. It's a good test, and I'm looking forward to it and see what we end up doing.
The difference in my score and your score is the people that gamble are not going to be happy with my score if they bet on Virginia.
Well, what's the spread?
Virginia's up to 3.5, and but the total came down to 54.5. It was 55.5.
I was gonna say it opened at 2.5, didn't it?
It did. Yep. But
so,
the line movements, that Maryland game, the line moved 5 points. It opened Maryland 2.5, right, and it went to Virginia 2.5.
Right. Yeah.
So and I always look at that as that's a great sign. Somebody knows something. Virginia's going to win this game, and obviously that didn't work out. So can't always trust the line movement.
No. And this morning on 1310 Sports AM down here, their experts said Coastal Carolina money line.
Yeah, I saw that.
So hopefully he's wrong, and hopefully we're right.
Yep.
Well, that's going to wrap us up for tonight. We'd like to thank you guys for joining us. We'd like to thank again Blake Steen for last night, for coming on with us and talking about giving us a little insight to himself and talking about the Maryland game. Also like to thank our future. We've talked to the now and the future with future QB Ely Hamrick. He was a pleasure to talk to tonight. And we're looking forward to Saturday. Go Hoos.
Go Hoos.